I said, do you believe in free speech, like ultimate free speech? And she was like, well, it depends, blah, blah. And I'm like, okay, cool. I was like, here's a better question. Do you believe that the pros of free speech outweigh the cons of free speech? Yes or no?
Mm.
And she's like, I'm not sure. What do you believe? And I was like, I believe that the pros of free speech, or just speaking what you feel is true, outweigh the cons long term, not short
Yeah.
term. Right? Prime example, Christ. Everything he was saying was against a lot of the Jewish practices at the time.
Mm-hmm.
Didn't sit well with them. So when there was an uproar about him and the Roman officials came to him to crucify him, they stood back, right? They're like, yeah, this guy's going against the temple, right? And they crucified him.
Mm-hmm.
So short term, didn't work out for him.
Nope.
Right? Long term, one of the greatest things that could ever happen.
Yep.
Even if you don't believe in the divinity of Christ, right? Or
Right.
walking on water, or raising from the dead. But the tenets of Christ, right? To love the Lord God with all your heart, soul, and mind, and to love your neighbor as yourself.
Yeah.
That without that, you can't build a civilization like the one we have now.
No.
So long term, way more important.
Mm-hmm.
The pros outweigh the cons completely.
Yeah, I totally agree, man. I'm one of those people. I think that even the extremists on either side, give them a platform. Don't shut them up. Just the people are going to determine what happens, and I would rather, it if you start censoring what people are saying and censoring the information that gets out there, your society is going to fall apart. If you I would rather the alternative of giving every single person, regardless, even if their viewpoints are seen as ridiculous by the vast majority of people. I mean, even if you had a guy who still believed, if he read the Mein Kampf and he thought that just absolutely resonated with him and he wanted to start a YouTube channel about it, go ahead. We'll see how many people agree with you.
Yeah.
And if the vast majority of people agree with you and that's the way our society goes, well, then we've destroyed ourselves.
Right.
But I would rather it be what the vast majority of people wanted than a small percentage of people controlling the vast majority. You know what I mean? And so I totally agree that free speech, complete free speech, is 100% the way to go, because the unbelievable likelihood is that the vast majority of people will see this guy spouting off about the Mein Kampf and being a Nazi, and they're going to think that's ridiculous. You know what I mean? They're not going to follow that. The vast majority of people want to be kind to each other and help each other. So I agree with you that free speech is certainly 100% the way to go. Complete free speech, no matter how many people it offends.
Yeah. And it's something that happens when you accept that. You allow someone with an opposing viewpoint to say whatever they want to say and get the following that they get.
Mm-hmm.
Whatever, however many people that believe that they're right, that's what's going to happen. Right?
Yeah.
So a lot of people, because they fear the cons of free speech, someone like
Mm-hmm.
that getting a platform and creating
Yeah.
a following, they'll try to shut it down. But this is my argument to that concept. The truth has existed before us, and it will continue to exist.
Mm.
Right? If you think of the
Yeah.
transcendentals, the good, the true, the beautiful, the
Mm.
things that are universal, the things that we discover, right? Things that have always been, but we discover through our relationship with reality, our relationship with God.
Mm-hmm.
Those become more clear to us the longer we exist as a civilization.
Yeah.
But you can't shut up the truth. You can't hide beauty.
Mm-hmm.
You can't hide goodness.
Yeah.
Those things will exist with you or without you. And I
Mm-hmm.
think giving up that grip, that iron grip, that like it's only going to sustain itself if I'm in control.
Mm-hmm.
Right? I think that can allow you to accept the importance of free speech a little bit more.
Right.
Because you're like, you know what, dude, you can say whatever you want. Like a Satanist to me, talk as much as you want to talk,
Mm-hmm.
and I'll talk with you.
Yep.
And I think what people don't realize is it's how we act and how we
Mm-hmm.
treat each other that's way more important than what people are saying.
Yeah.
Because a lot
Yeah.
of non-Christians act better than Christians I know.
Yep.
People
Yeah.
who say they don't believe in a God, right? Ultimate
Mm-hmm.
reality, ultimate consciousness, act better, have a better moral life than some Christians I know.
Yep.
So what's more important?
Mm-hmm.
And in my view, you can't escape the transcendentals. You can't
Mm-hmm.
escape what's true, good, and beautiful, even if you deny it in a way, like through your
Yeah.
limited understanding of the mystery of reality and the mystery of
Yeah.
God. It just kind of works out where your relationships are better because of a relationship with God.